And it says we're live.
Yeah.
Hello, all. Cedar, Steph,
Already?
Josh, Jesse, John, Jonna, Sanford.
Bloody hell.
Ah, speaking of boats, since y'all started this,
Uh-oh.
Boats?
boats, BOATS.
Okay.
We started this?
They started it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Interesting things are going on with the Defense Authorization Act.
Interesting as in, may you live in interesting times, Chinese curse interesting? Or interesting as in, ooh, that's interesting.
Pretty much.
Oh, damn it.
The Navy is going to give up or put into or decommission 4 LCS to get 1 fast frigate.
LCS is what?
Little crappy
combat
ships.
Dirt water.
Little crappy ships.
I'm not seeing a downside here.
Well,
Considering the LCS littoral stuff should have been the Coast Guard's purview anyways.
yeah.
And
The
that's-
problem being that this administration has basically told the Navy to piss off on a number of different things, including any chances to expand the Navy to 335 ships.
They're having trouble getting the 12 carrier groups they need minimum.
Yeah.
So-
Actually, it's 11 now because the Enterprise is decommed and Ford has not.
But they need minimum 12.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah,
way,
John,
rotations reports.
the LCSs were crap from day one.
Yeah.
They were the,
They need to be taken out, put out of their misery a long time ago.
yeah, they were the folly of Vern Clark when he was CNO because he thought he knew better than anybody else what the Navy really needed, which was a short manned, small boat, which 330 feet is not exactly small, with a crew of less than 50 that could go into near shore and do combat, except that it didn't have any guns, didn't have any way to protect itself, and no off-board sensors unless you put an extra package on it.
And considering that the United States Coast Guard was currently ducking like fiends because they thought they were about to get tagged.
Yes,
Because they do that better than anybody.
yes,
Oh, and these ships couldn't operate alone.
no,
So they needed a network of 3.
yes. They were fast, granted, at 40 knots, but at 40 knots, they drink fuel like it's going out of style. So that meant that they had a 3-day range at 40 knots. 3 days.
That won't get them across the Atlantic.
No.
I'm thinking of all those U.S. Coast Guard cutters out there operating all by themselves.
Yeah, WEHEX, yeah.
Happy as a clam at high tide.
What got me was the fact that you needed 3 of them to have a defensive system in place. You lose one of those,
You lose all 3 of them.
you lose the defensive
Yeah.
system completely.
Yeah, one of them was supposed to be mining, one of them was supposed to be defense, and the third one was supposed to be ASW
Right.
with the little modules on the back. But the problem was the modules had to be crewed.
Right.
And if you put a helicopter on board and a module, now you exceeded the crew capacity.
You went over the 50 you had food and berthing for.
Yeah.
Because you're only out for 3 days anyways.
Well,
obviously.
So they changed it, quote unquote, by direction to put them in the battle group.
But if you lose one of those ships, say you lose your ASW ship.
Yeah.
Now you no longer have ASW capability, period.
Yeah.
Neither of the other ships can take it over.
That's right.
But
But it gets better.
if you can see the look on Garver's face right now.
Yeah.
It's the level of stupidity.
Yes. Bi-direction stupidity.
Oh,
So,
Jesus. And that's what gets me.
Yeah.
It's a top-down stupidity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The worst.
so
kind.
Trump was actually moving it toward get rid of them, get the FFX, which they did get the design for, and they've got authorization apparently now in this budget to have 1.
So they're building the prototype.
For test bed. We're budgeting for a test bed.
Yeah, it gets better. They moved because the LCS was non-functional near shore. They moved them out of the battle group.
Out
Which-
of the littoral zone.
Yeah, out of the littoral into deep water. And they slowed them down to the speeds of the battle group.
Which is the speed of the slowest thing in the battle group.
Now,
Somewhere in the
16 knots. Well,
Oh, really?
Give
I
or
was
take.
thinking it was 24.
depends on what ships are in company.
Okay, yeah. Well,
But now,
obviously it's gonna be the speed of the slowest tanker ship that they have.
you just hit the key point. Now, with the LCS in the battle group, you've got to have a tanker trailing the battle group to refuel the LCS on a
Just for
routine
them.
basis. Yeah.
Just for them.
At 4 knots.
At 4 knots, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but let's not forget that all the other ships are having to turn over the French fry grease.
Yeah.
So they can process the biodiesel,
You won't
Which
need
that
which the LCSs couldn't use.
You won't
'cause-
need satellite anymore. You won't need sonar. You won't need radar to find the battle group. You just need a guy with a good sense of smell.
downwind.
No fries.
well, actually,
No fries.
the mandated ship that was a destroyer that was sent out on RIMPAC a few years ago with the biodiesel could not make it back home to San Diego.
Yeah, the
Gunked
engine.
up.
Yeah.
They had to go into Pearl Harbor, and the ship was in the shipyard for over a month getting everything cleaned out.
Some poor sailor with a putty knife was in there scraping the gunk out of the.
And it was, this is the kicker, it was $26 a friggin' gallon for biodiesel
That was just expensive French fries.
versus $153 at the time for an entire barrel of bunker fuel.
Do you remember when somebody pointed out that if you stick a jet engine in a tank, that it's only got a 300-mile range?
Yeah.
You're gonna need to follow it with a tanker.
Yeah.
And then in Desert Storm 1, they realized the tankers were unarmored and the weakest point in the chain.
And
Yeah.
it exploded really well.
Yeah. You hit
Josh, basically the bottom line is the LCS sole job, they can't even protect the oiler whose sole job is to refuel them anymore.
This is the naval equivalent of buying a Prius and then getting a generator on a trailer
Yeah.
to
Totally
go
different.
to behind it.
Yes, Dryas, this is basically the Navy's catch-22.
Oh,
The other interesting thing that's going on, and this is really strange, is that Admiral Aquino, who is he is no longer PACOM, he is Indo-Pacific.
what?
Indo-Pacific.
What the hell is that?
They combined
They
the two.
combined Indian Ocean and Pacific into one command. It's always been one command called PACOM. They changed the name to protect the guilty. Anyway,
Yeah, but so Indo-PACOM, is that what it's gonna be called now?
Indio-PACOM.
Yeah, but the Navy always loved 3 letters. So PACOM,
IPC.
yeah, 3. No. It was like Com Sub Pac.
Yeah.
Or Pac Subcom or what it was.
Into PACCOM.
Yeah, Indo-PACOM.
Sounds like it. Yeah, you're exactly right, Josh. Tesla with a generator whose water and fuel capacity is half what the Tesla needs. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Admiral Aquino met last week with, this is really strange, the Prime Minister of Japan.
Uh-oh.
This is not normal, folks. You don't normally have a 4-star admiral meeting with a prime minister to discuss
No. I'll bet
cooperation.
I'll bet State was losing their tiny little mind.
I think that they did not want to meet with them. I think this got dumped down to the admiral's level to go have the mutual assurance meetings with the Japanese, because the Biden administration does not want to upset China. So if the admiral went and had the meeting, the administration could say, oh, well, we don't know what he said.
Oh,
So
for God's sake.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works.
you know that, I know that.
International politics is not going to be that.
If I were the other,
Talk about junior varsity bullshit.
I know.
Yeah.
If I were the other country, in this case Japan, I would look at this and go, okay, so the Biden administration is gonna throw me under the bus.
Yes.
this first chance it gets.
And
That's all it says.
this whole thing with, well, China will believe that we didn't know. China's not going to fall for that junior varsity bullshit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And that's basically what
My
he
God,
did. He
we've
did
got
meet
Cub
with
Scouts.
his normal counterparts.
We got Cub Scouts running the damn government.
Yeah.
This will work.
Yeah. The other thing that was interesting is the Air Force, they actually zeroed out the Air Force's replacement for the Huey helicopter.
Air Force?
Yes.
That's Huey's Army.
No. The Air
No,
Force
the-
had Hueys too.
Yeah, well, they've got the twin version, the N model, right?
Yeah.
Like
But
the
they
one-
are
the
old.
Marine
They desperately need replacement.
Yeah, well, they should have upped to the Black Hawk anyways years ago because that was a replacement.
Supposed to be.
Well, they didn't. The Huey can do things Black Hawk can't do.
Yeah, but it's an aging airframe.
Yeah, stall out at 10,000 feet and auto rotate for thousands.
It's an aging
Yeah.
airframe. I mean,
Yeah, but they had a mission that they wanted a Huey replacement for, and that got zeroed too.
No, it must have been their command and control bird.
No telling what the Army lost.
Oh, the Army doesn't. The active Army doesn't fly Hueys
Yeah.
except for very specific modified
Yeah.
models that they can't find anything else.
are you
for.
Yeah.
sure? I don't remember Huey's.
Now
Even- even into
there's
the
there's
90s
some
setup.
modified versions for other stuff.
We when I was in Korea, we had a triple C bird that was a Huey. Now we had a triple C bird when I was in Campbell that was a Black Hawk.
Right.
But this Huey had been forever a triple C bird, so we were still maintaining it.
Yeah.
Because the triple C bird Black Hawk that we had was kind of a test bed when I was in.
In the
Yeah.
90s, I mean, in the 80s, I remember some Hueys flopping around, but in
Yeah,
the
this
90s,
is-
I don't remember seeing a Huey in the air.
This is well, there was
They were still flying Hueys up in Alaska in 2013.
that the Alaska National Guard, yeah.
No.
No,
No, they were active duty Army.
oh, were they?
Uh,
I do know
Pacific,
that
not
that's
Navy.
one of the things Black Hawk Down got right was the triple C bird over there was a Huey.
Oh,
Yeah,
In the early
Richard
90s, yeah.
Richard brings up a good point. Casey Zell was flying Hueys for the Air Force.
that's Air Force, huh?
Yeah.
I think it's the N model. It's a twin engine version
Yeah.
of the Huey. Which is the same as a Marine. Well, not the same, but it's close to the same as a Marine Corps.
Yeah, John, I've heard some rumors about China threatening to nuke us. It's,
The other thing is the Air Force has a requirement of in-air refueling for
Yeah.
everything.
except Hueys.
No, I thought the Hueys had the probe.
Nope,
That's odd.
you can't stick the probe far enough out to get it out from under the
Well, they're
rotor.
what is the Sea Stallion, the knife, whatever.
53. Yeah.
Yeah, the 53 does. Of course, there are videos all over YouTube of the 53 hitting turbulence behind the
Yeah.
refueler and just cutting.
The hose, yeah. Yeah, they've lost more than one hose to a 53.
Yeah.
But that was pretty interesting to hear that set of machinations. And
They've zeroed out odd things.
Yeah.
You notice that this budget zeroes out some really very specific things.
Yeah.
You wonder what are they going for?
Or is it just some person like geek in OMB going, I don't know what that means, and zeroing it out?
now this
You
is
don't think
this
so?
is this all
I'm-
goes up through Austin. So this is
Austin?
Yeah.
Or Washington?
Austin, SecDef.
Oh,
The guy, not
Oh,
not the city.
okay.
Yeah.
Because they zeroed out border protection.
Yeah.
They zero out this Huey program in
Yeah.
the Air Force. They're zeroing out specific things.
Yeah.
right.
And it's not random enough.
No, they're targeting, and nobody's really sure why.
Yeah. This is odd.
The other thing that I got was back channel this week was a rather interesting presentation on mining capabilities in the U.S. as in lack thereof for critical
Mining is in digging dirt out of the ground, or mining
Yes.
is in dropping explosives?
digging specific things out of the ground.
Oh, yeah. We've outsourced because mining is ecologically disastrous. We've outsourced our
It's full
ecological
of mines.
disasters to somewhere else.
Of the 50 major elements that we the United States use in critical
Mhm.
infrastructure, parts, equipment,
Stuff that strategically we've got to have
strategic,
supplies of.
yeah,
We
strategic
mine
stuff.
zero of it here.
We mine zero of it. Over 50% of it is in many cases mined by either Russia or China.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that I'm willing to bet that a significant portion, the other 50%, is mined from places under Chinese control.
Yep.
Because if it's mined in Africa, and a bunch of it is, let's face it, one way or another, it's under Chinese control.
Well, that's actually covered in the presentation.
They bought and paid for it. But the weird bit is the School of Mines in the U.S. got woke a couple of decades ago. Yeah, a couple of decades ago. So a lot of the stuff that we would know how to mine, we don't anymore because it was part of the, oh my God, this is bad stuff work.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So uranium, there's nothing new coming up as far as technology goes. The only reason the oil industry has new technology is because they've literally hired engineers and they
developed it on their own without anybody's approval.
Yeah, there's no university tie-in like there is with other stuff.
I hate to tell folks this, but people need to wake up and understand that universities are strategic assets.
Yeah.
And should be regarded and treated as such.
Yeah.
I mean the ones that are
good luck with that.
I mean the ones that are bought and paid for by Chinese government. Yeah.
Yeah, and Josh says, heard a rumor the budget got tossed back to the Senate because of non-budgetary aspects, and they used reconciliation. Yeah, that's true. And Steph said EPA.
I thought they could only do reconciliation like twice in a session.
Nope.
I thought they could only do reconciliation between the House and the Senate versions.
No. They can pass a bill in the Senate by reconciliation.
I gotta look this up. That doesn't
yes, Steph, the EPA did shut down all domestic mining. Yeah, Aaron, the Bingham mine is one of the only copper mines in the United States. I think it is actually the only one that is producing at this time. But when you really look around at what we need and what we have, we can't, if the outside forces, Russia, China, and the other producers of strategic minerals shut down today, all import, we're dead in the water as a country. Because right now, well, under Trump, the average to get a new mine up and running was 10 years. Some of them had been trying to get up and running for 23 years because the EPA, the eco-Nazis, and everybody else had been fighting them for day one.
The game I heard the EPA played was they would force them to do an environmental impact study.
Yeah.
And then 5 years down the road, because of all the other government red tape, they hadn't opened the mine yet.
Yeah.
So the EPA said, well, this study's too old.
Yeah.
So let's do another one, which would restart the whole process again.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the lawsuits.
Congress limited to 3 reconciliation bills per year.
Yeah, they were. Of course, that's under law, so we know how much this administration cares about the law.
The thing is, the budget went to the president's desk and he kicked it back to Congress.
Yeah.
So there's no House bill to reconcile it with. That's the whole idea behind reconciliation is you have the same bill, essentially in both houses, but there's differences. So both houses get together, or whatever committees get together, and they sit down and go, okay, you've got this difference, and this is different in yours from ours. So let's make it this.
That's one version of reconciliation. There's also a way to vote under reconciliation in the Senate, which does not require 60 votes. It only requires a simple majority.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, reconciliation. The big thing about reconciliation is not. That's why it's limited to only 3 per year.
Supposedly. Yes, Steph. The reason you can't get chips for cars and trucks is not due to the Chinese slowdown. It's due to the one plant in Japan that built those chips that burned down last year, and it has not been replaced.
Well, I do know that even into the 70s and 80s, 100% of our titanium came from Russia, or the Soviet Union at the time.
Right.
And titanium is a critical component in jet engines.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the parts they're parts that you would stick steel into that would melt
Mhm.
because that's the operating temperature that the jet engines had.
Yep.
So if Russia shuts down our titanium imports, no jet engines.
Yeah. Josh brings up a good point. Article where a farmer in South Dakota had been fighting a seasonal wetland EPA declaration in his field over a mud puddle since 2011.
A seasonal wetland.
Yeah, EPA, they were famous for that.
Yeah.
A while ago back.
No, the EPA was famous for seeing a water fountain.
Yeah.
Somebody's feature in their backyard and declaring it a waterway.
Yeah.
Yep.
And taking control of it because it's navigable.
Yeah.
You could sail on it.
Yeah.
Well, there's this famous thing where the EPA declared a ditch that a farmer dug as a navigable waterway, and the farmer went straight to the Army Corps of Engineers, which controls navigable waterways, and the Army Corps of Engineers laughed at him. And he said, "Well, here's the EPA, here's the EPA, here's the Army Corps of Engineers. Y'all fight it out."
Mm-hmm.
That got sticky quick.
Yeah. John says, and don't forget the passing of budget is no longer required. They just do whatever they want to do month to month and use the previous year. They haven't had, and this is a good point. There has not been a valid budget since Obama took over.
Oh, it was long before Obama.
Now, under Bush, there actually were budgets submitted and passed every year. When Obama took over,
Are you sure? I
Yes.
thought it was before Obama.
Nope.
The thing is, the way they wrote the law is if you don't pass a budget, you get last year's budget plus X percentage across the board.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's in their
That was
best
good.
interest to not pass a budget.
yeah, that was called sequestration.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
No, it wasn't sequestration. Sequestration was something else.
But
Right.
sequestration was the way they did it.
Yeah.
Because that way they didn't have to actually try to fund things.
Right.
Sequestration's the way.
Because I was working during that time period
Yeah.
and watched our budget for R&D get cut by 50%.
No, not secret. No, that's not. That's sequestration. The way the budget law is,
Yeah.
is if they don't pass a budget,
Right. And they use sequestration not to pass the budget.
right? Well, no, if they don't pass a budget,
It's
it
a
happened
continue.
before.
They go to a series of continuing resolutions.
The continuing resolution is last year's budget plus X percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it behooves them to not pass a budget so that they get more money.
Yeah, Josh and Jason brings up. Yeah, in Maryland they actually wanted to regulate rain barrels. The EPA wanted to regulate rain barrels.
Yeah, they've done that.
They tax some people the amount of rain. Some state has taxed people the amount of rain.
That was Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Lands on their.
Oh, no. They threw a guy in jail.
It's the amount of runoff.
Because he had rain barrels. He was
Yeah.
preventing runoff.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
And he
threw him
went-
in jail for
And he went to jail for it.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that. That court case, and all I could
Wow.
think of was a rain barrel is preventing runoff.
that.
That is the world's smallest weather system. Okay? The size of the
Wow.
guy's, roof.
Yeah,
Close. Either way, depending
Yeah.
on what part of the country you're from.
yeah. And Josh says EPA lost a number of other cases involving the same kind of crap, but they keep doing it. Yep.
Yeah.
And they're going right back to it under this administration.
Because they got
Hence
friends.
the no mining, all this crap. Yeah,
Because-
Sanford, Maryland is a communist state like New York, California, and DC.
Because you can't control a population unless they're all criminals. And
Yeah.
You can control the population
Yeah.
because they've all broken the law.
Well, you can also control a population. You take away everything.
And,
you take
and
away their, the rights to whatever water. You
Well,
take
that's-
away
yeah.
their-
That's the thing. If they become a criminal, you get to take away their rights.
or
yeah,
you
and
suck them into a small
Andy
house.
says it's all about save the bay, which, it's the friggin' Chesapeake.
This is along the same lines as the smelt, right?
Yeah. It was all about protecting the Chesapeake Bay from the runoff of the poisonous chemicals and the weed killers and yada, yada, yada.
Which is done through the runoff is because of the rain. So if they were preventing runoff, they were saving the bay.
But if you didn't allow the runoff, you were in violation.
That
Yeah.
makes sense to a bureaucrat.
Yeah.
Remember the smelt? The smelt, that little itty bitty
Was
baked
it
fish?
smell or was that some sort of shiner
It was a little itty
or a
bitty.
darter?
Yeah.
It was a
Or
little.
snail darter.
It was a little itty bitty
Yeah.
bait fish.
Bait fish, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That was not endangered.
No, but that was California.
But
Yeah.
they had to build stairs for the smell, which they're not even sure.
This not
Yeah.
actually used.
Yeah. We'll use this river. Yeah.
Yeah. Raptor says, remember when tar and feathering or revenuers was considered a public service? I'm not that old, but I have relatives that do remember that.
I remember stories of horsewhipping bureaucrats on courthouse
Yeah.
square. Is all I'm saying.
In lieu of the porno scanners at Reagan and the other Washington D.C. airports, let's put tar and feather booths in. That way, every time a politician leaves the city, yes,
But we've got to use the right kind of tar.
the sticky stuff, the stuff that burns.
No, you don't use that. You use pine tar. That was the original tar and feathers.
Oh.
Was pine tar
Yeah,
and feathers.
Pine tar is liquid at room temperature.
Yeah.
There's
But
no
it's an
foam.
absolute bitch to get off your hands.
Oh, I know. I haven't grown up in Minnesota. I'm aware of what pine sap does, but
Snail darter. That's what it was, not
Snail
the
darter.
smell.
snail darter. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just
And Josh wants to know exactly how does Ian know what an anime character sounds like?
What?
I don't know.
Where the hell
He
did that
has-
come from?
I don't know.
He asked the question. I don't know.
Where'd that come from?
Probably from one of your Facebook posts.
Remember that joke where the government can't even make money in a brothel?
Brothel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote about that.
And Louise says, meanwhile, the mustard gas landfill is on the floodplain at Edgewood, Minnesota, or Maryland. Yeah. If it weren't for runoff, the currents weren't working because Army Corps of Engineers plans. So it's been a losing fight in Long Island for years.
I live in the South. Not only do I live in the South, I live in the southwest of the Mississippi, where it's relatively, I say relatively sane. It's not completely sane. No
Are
place
you
is
kidding me? How many lakes are in Texas?
all man-made, several hundred.
No,
There's one.
there's one.
Yeah.
That's in Texas. The other one shares the border with Louisiana, so technically not. So
And that's Toledo.
every body of water in Texas except for one
It's
is
man-made.
man-made.
Yeah.
Guess who controls every body of water in the state of Texas?
Well, you're about to tell me wrong.
The Army Corps of Engineers.
Yep.
Not actually.
Yeah.
Texas has a law, water conservation districts, if they create a reservoir, water conservation districts can completely control that reservoir because the Army Corps of Engineers has had some issues.
Well, the Army Corps of Engineers is run by a bunch of idiots.
Oh, Josh and Cedar said, you made a comment Tuesday about an anime girl's laugh.
Oh, giggle like an anime schoolgirl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to know how you know what that sounds like.
Now I want to know too.
Does anybody remember back hell in the 90s when Japanese anime first hit the U.S. Mainstream and cable channels had the anime hour?
No.
No.
Now, back in the 90s, cable channels would
Back
have
when I was a kid.
they would have anime hour, Jap animation is what they called it, and half of the Japan, whatever. Half of the, I swear to God, half of them had giggling anime schoolgirls.
That's Japan. Everything is a schoolgirl fantasy.
Those, I'm not sure if we nuked them enough or too much, because damn.
Yeah.
Well, I think we nuked them too much because there's a lot of tentacles in Japanimation.
Well, have you ever seen an anime that didn't have a mushroom cloud in it?
No.
They all have somewhere a giant explosion with a mushroom cloud. We left a mark on their psyche. By
Oh, yeah.
God.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but Japanimation is something completely different than Japanning.
And the funny part is,
Okay.
the big thing in Japan is to look Western.
Oh yeah, they'll actually
because we beat them like a German porno.
they'll actually have surgery to get rid of that little fold there.
The epicanthic fold. Yeah, they have surgery to do that. You know who the most popular American is in Japan?
If you say David Hasselhoff, I'm gonna give him up.
No,
isn't it like Jennifer Love Hewitt or something like
Tommy
that?
Lee Jones.
Okay.
Oh, I can see that. Okay.
I can see that.
He is in more ads over there for various products than any other American.
Well, that was the thing. You could the stars over here that didn't want to sell out.
Oh yeah,
They would go over there and do the commercials.
Yeah.
Because they knew they could
get
sell it over
a
there.
crap ton of money.
Yeah.
And nobody over here would know they did, because apparently Tom Selleck did a lot of commercials over there.
Tom Selleck did, and Schwarzenegger did, and God, who else?
Yeah. Now, Josh, it was not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's actually Tommy Lee Jones. And he is, to this day, he is the face, if you will, of Boss Products in Japan, which is a conglomerate across multiple different product lines.
Seen that man get off a plane at DFW, commode hugging, snot slinging drunk.
Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah, Tom Selleck movie, Mr. Baseball.
He paid for the ranch.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he paid for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I just gotta imagine Sam.
Elliott?
What's his name?
Sam
Sam Elliott. Yeah, Sam Elliott. I wonder what Sam Elliott does over there.
Oh, he makes a lot of
They like
commercials
Tommy Lee
too.
Jones.
The other thing is they about half of them want to dress Western.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's really eerie to get on the trains over there. And you've got the little old 4'0" grandma in the full kimono with the clog shoes, sitting there with her earbuds in, looking and watching something on her phone, sitting next to a girl dressed as a Japanese schoolgirl who may or may not be actually a Japanese schoolgirl.
She could be on her way to an episode.
Yeah. Sitting next to a geisha dancer getting ready to go to work in the full makeup and blue jeans and cowboy boots.
Oh yeah. Rita sold
Yeah.
a pair of blue jeans that still had a tag on it.
Yeah.
Levi's to somebody in Japan for a stupid amount of money.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Levi's are trading currency
Yeah.
in the East, in the Soviet Union.
Oh,
Levi's
yeah.
are trading
Oh
currency.
God, yes. The amount
Yeah,
of
we got
stuff,
a whole bunch of stuff for 2 pairs of Levi's with a tag still on.
Marlboros and Levi's.
Yeah, Hoff is big in Germany still, which is just friggin' weird.
It's funny who has hit records outside of the United
Yeah.
States.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jennifer-
Hasselhoff has a bunch in
yeah,
Europe.
yeah. The Hasselhoff's in Germany. Jennifer Love Hewitt in Japan.
Yeah.
Didn't even know sang.
Yeah, don't even. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny to see who's got the big.
Like I said, I'm not sure. I like those little OCD buggers, but I'm not sure if we nuked them too much or not enough.
Raptor says, we didn't have cable until the late 90s, so no, I don't remember. Cedar says, Demon Slayer does not have any nukes in it.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Yes, there
yeah.
will be.
Yeah, but Fooly Cooley has a mushroom cloud in every episode. I think every episode. There's I think every episode.
Oh,
of
what
Fooly Cooley
the hell?
has.
It's Kakarot. Kakarot and Vegeta and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z has a mushroom cloud in every stinking episode.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist, about every other episode. Mushroom cloud.
Yeah. RK says her favorite German band was Truck Stop. Hamburg guys singing their versions of U.S. country in Dutch.
Ouch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which does remind me, though, of the Filipino bands in Westpac back during Vietnam who did not speak English. They only spoke Tagalog. But when they sang, it was note perfect and sound perfect
For English.
for English to the band they were covering.
The the bar girls in Korea
Oh yeah.
did the same thing, where
Yeah.
they wouldn't speak a lick of English, but oh my God, they could belt that out.
Yeah.
That's something. There was one of my sergeants a long, long time ago. He was typing up a report, and I'm looking at him because this was 12, 15 years ago. He was your stereotypical good old boy, Texas edition. He had a blue heeler with a red neckerchief. He drove a pickup with hay bales. He wore cowboy boots.
Yeah.
This is before you got there. And I was watching one time writing a report, and he's listening to Du Hast, Rammstein. And I'm here to tell you, talk about not adding up. And he was singing along. And I know that man didn't understand German, and I know he didn't understand what the hell he was singing, but by God, he was growling it out.
And Yvonne says Brad Pitt was another one that was big in Asia during the 90s. I'd forgotten about that, but you're right. And John says the girls in ABBA couldn't speak English for years.
Yeah.
No.
There are several Swedish bands that made hits in the 80s that I would have sworn they were out of Midwestern America, but when they got on MTV back when they actually did music, it's like, what the hell are they saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember the Japanese guy out of San Antonio that speaks perfect English?
Oh, the comic?
Yeah.
Joe. I think he's. I don't think he's. I thought he was Korean.
No, he's Japanese.
Okay, but yeah,
no, perfect Texas accent.
Yes, heavy Texas accent.
Yeah. Yeah, Mel Tillis had a stutter unless he was singing. Yeah.
I hope you can see more than me. Cannonball Run.
Yeah. Yeah. The other oddity is, and this happened to us, we went from Japan to Australia for some meetings, which was a trip from holy hell. When you have to fly from Japan to Los Angeles to Sydney, because you can't fly direct because there's no direct U.S. flights.
Because Qantas doesn't go direct Japan to Australia?
You had to fly U.S. flagged airlines.
Oh.
Yeah. And get out to Perth, and we go to have dinner and go in this restaurant. I've never done karaoke, never will. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. So we walk into this restaurant in Perth, and the waitress is Japanese. And we have just come from Japan. So my ear is waiting for the fractured Japanese English.
English.
And she spoke perfect Australian English. It's like, and I mean, I literally locked up for a second. I was like, what? Wait a minute.
I've got a question. Did the Navy, and maybe JimJim can back me up on this, did the Navy not have the famous 3 days leave, reassemble at X point?
No.
If there was no direct from, say as a creative articulation, if there was no direct flight from Casablanca to the U.S., all right, everybody, 3 days leave, reassemble in Miami.
Yeah. Now, we didn't do that.
No. Okay.
I didn't deploy as much as you did, obviously.
Just not.
Now, I had, I remember having to help a kid in Rome because he got stuck. He was on emergency leave.
Anybody who never got stuck in Rome hasn't traveled very much.
Yeah. Well, you know that, and I know that. This kid had not traveled. And
didn't know about the door, did he?
Well, didn't know about the door. Didn't know about the way to properly check in for the flights. So he missed his flight. He's trying to get home on emergency leave. And he's standing there with his bag, and he's just staring. And I stopped, I looked back, walked back up to him, said, "Can I help you?" I said, "You look like you're lost." He just looks at me and goes, "Man," he said, "I have no fucking idea what I'm doing." He said, "I'm trying to get out of here, emergency leave. I missed my flight." And he said, "I don't even know where to go." "Where are you trying to go?" "Come on." Drug him over to the United counter, got him on the next United out. got him pointed in the right direction. And one of the CSRs was actually American. And she says, I'll take care of him.
I just,
Yeah, because if it had been an Italian CSR, no,
no,
Oh,
not
no.
so much.
no, they win awards for worst customer service.
Although once in a while, when you get a good one,
Yeah.
holy crap, sit back and watch her work.
Yeah.
No, I'm the Alitalia CSRs.
No,
Oh, now Alitalia is a different story.
that's a whole
Yeah.
different kettle of
Yeah.
fish right there.
Yeah,
But-
no, there's still, yeah.
There's actually a concierge service at most Italian airports that's there to help travelers.
Yeah.
Now, 9 times out of 10, you get a dickhead
Yeah.
that's there to take out his frustrations on the world.
Mhm.
But that 1 time out of 10, you get some sweet young thing, and by God, she's wound up.
Yeah.
And you sit back, say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
And she will be screaming at people, and you will be going through lines.
Well, and it's just like the trick of getting through customs going into Italy. If
Go
you're
up the
traveling
stairs to the right, there's
Yeah.
a door.
through the door that's unmarked, it goes over to the domestic terminal, and there is a bored customs agent
Yeah.
sitting there
Just for that door.
just for that door.
Yep.
And I told the people I was with, follow me up the stairs to the right. Oh, no. We got to go through.
That goes through this line.
Hey, no, we go over there. We go through customs over there. There's no wait.
That
Well-
line is there to separate the stupid people from experienced travelers.
I was the only one that got to Catania that night. The rest of them spent the night in the airport.
No, yeah, I don't doubt it.
I was over there having one of those nice cups of espresso
Nice cups. Woo!
at the espresso machine that was bigger than this table with 4 guys
yeah.
working it
Screaming in
Yeah.
Italian.
and shaking their fist at customers and slinging the espresso. And it was just, I mean, bam, 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 as fast as they could work it. I've often wondered how much
My dad,
no, I was not having soju in Italy.
my
Thank you.
dad, I get my coffee hound from my father, and he was at the airport in Rome, and was tired, done, walked up to an espresso machine, asked for a cup of coffee, and they served an espresso cup, and my dad, who wasn't all that, said, no, I want a cup of coffee. So they got him a cup. And I remember the barista looking at him, making sign of the cross and walking away. Dad killed that entire cup.
40 minutes.
What?
It took us 40 minutes to start talking about food.
Now, we're not talking about food. We're talking about booze.
Coffee.
Coffee is not food.
I remember that barista looked at my dad, and Dad said, I want a cup. And they didn't understand my dad's caffeine intake. And he got a coffee mug of espresso.
Yeah.
I remember the barista signing across.
Yeah.
And they all stood there and watched him. And Dad just slurped it back. Thank you, and walked away.
I love coffee.
The Raptor goes, the Italian version of the Cuban coffee story, pretty much.
Oh no, Dad! The Cuban coffee story was how it almost killed Gabriel Iglesias. It didn't even phase my father.
Yeah.
I miss coffee.
Yeah, I've had a full cup of espresso more than once too.
Dad,
And they do look at you kind of funny.
Dad lived on coffee. My dad would ship damn near a pallet of Cafe Du Monde
Yeah.
wherever we were going, because Dad grew up on chicory coffee, half and half chicory coffee, which I still love.
Yeah.
And he would drink 2 or 3 pots of that stuff during breakfast.
Yeah.
And just
Well, I go through a
You
pot
got-
every morning here.
You got a fresh can of it in you just this week.
and then he would, I mean, at work he'd go through a pot an hour. And it was a miracle. My father, his heart would leap out of his chest and vibrate into a corner. But he could kill a mug of espresso.
Yeah.
Didn't bother him a bit.
Yes, my me. I know what community club coffee is. I have it here. Yvonne's going, I feel a panel about the space-time dilation event during international travel coming on.
There's at least a dozen different varieties of coffee in this house right now.
Yeah.
And
Well, everybody's got different tastes. I got Black Rifle, I got Kona, I've got Community Club, I've got French Market, I've got Cafe du Monde.
does anybody remember the old Braniff terminals before they went public?
Oh yeah.
Walking into a Braniff terminal back in the day That had to be the cover for some sort of vortex.
Yeah.
Okay. I do know where all the Braniff guys are. Or I should say, I do know which bar they hang out at now.
The pastel orange and pink was just inspired.
It was,
Yeah. Oh God, that
it was a
orange.
product of the times.
Whoa, you're not kidding.
It would definitely wake you up.
It will confuse the hell out of you. I literally got vertigo the first time I got off a flight at DFW in the Braniff terminal. I was 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I think I literally got vertigo. Woo!
RK, that just has to suck that you cannot drink coffee. You can eat a coffee bean, but you can't. You get sick drinking coffee. That's just not right.
I'd be in prison.
Yep, you and me both.
I am casting back to the old stewardesses uniforms for both Southwest and Braniff.
Oh yeah.
Pants and go-go boots.
Oh, and PSA was another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And John goes, make notes about coffee supply for the new shop. Yes, dear, you better do that.
Man, I am working my way through Black Rifle Coffee Company's selection. Yeah. Those boys can make some decent coffee.
Yeah.
However, they need to make an LD. They've got the basic black, the BV, and the just black, and the MO. They need an LD, which is half coffee, half chicory, and do it right.
Aaron,
where'd you get LD from?
Law Dog.
Yeah.
Oh. Law Dog coffee, half chicory.
Aaron, I cannot understand why you Mormons won't drink coffee. It's just, not right.
God, I miss coffee.
No coffee, no tea, no. I can see the no alcohol, but no coffee, no tea. Nah.
Having watched Larry Correa pound down Coke Zero like a drowning man grasping for straws, I'm not. Is the heat some part of it? Is
I don't know.
Hot caffeine?
I really don't know.
Maybe,
I did not realize that. John Minky just chimed in and says Big Bend Coffee Roasters here in Texas is now.
Big Bend?
Big Bend, yeah.
Oh.
Have to check that out. Thanks, John.
Maybe it's got something to do with he's not Hasidic Mormon. I think he's Reformed Mormon. Versus the Hasidic Mormons.
I don't know.
Who, I don't know.
That's their thing.
There's magic underwear floating around somewhere.
Well, it's just, I look at a religion that says, thou canst not drink coffee. I went, oh, how did y'all survive?
Yeah.
Because seriously, coffee has kept so many people unshanked.
Yeah. Aaron says the why of coffee and tea is a conversation to take a while.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind.
Good enough. Driving on. I don't serve hot coffee to Larry and Bridget and drive on.
Yeah. And RK says HEB does some really fine blends. Yeah. The problem is we don't have HEB up here, so we'd be screwed.
I love HEB.
Yeah.
However, we've got Firehouse is a local coffee roaster. And Firehouse? Hook and Ladder.
Hook and Ladder, yeah.
Hook and Ladder is a local coffee roaster. And
aren't they a winery also?
Yeah, it's also a winery.
Yeah.
Frank and Joe's, which is my favorite local coffee place, gets their coffee out of a pickup from Oak Lawn in Dallas every 2 days.
Yeah.
And a pickup, very floofy guy, drives a pickup up and offloads these bags of Oak Lawn coffee. And they have some good coffee.
Richard, you and Steph are just flat strange. Mountain Dew to get your caffeine? Really?
I've done that. I burned my stomach on Mountain Dew.
We used to do that in high school, and then we discovered Jolt.
I miss Jolt.
What was the Mountain Dew version of Jolt?
Mountain Dew Electric or Thunder.
No.
Some weird off.
It wasn't Mountain Dew at all, but it was their Mountain Dew flavor. I forgot what they called it.
Yeah.
I burnt my stomach on Mountain Dew. I was on Midnights, and somebody had got me off coffee, and I had people were in severe danger of getting shanked. So I started drinking. I was drinking a 12-pack of Mountain Dew a shift, an 8-hour shift. And I burned my stomach.
They've got Mountain Dew watermelon at the Lowe's.
That stuff is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I Who I stuck that in Bob oh crap, I stuck it in forgot his name. I can't think of his last name now. I stuck it in his truck.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
yes.
Brian Gannad. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he drank
Brian
it.
Brian
That's right.
Yeah.
And he texts me back, says, "This is pretty good."
Really?
You're a sick man.
He likes that?
Yes, he did.
Ooh.
Well, he texted me that he liked it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could talk to boys at Black Rifle into doing a Cajun chicory coffee, I'd just be a happy man.
Yeah. Uh, yes, John Mankey chimed in against this. The other problem with coffee at HEB is all those bulk things. They get them mixed up occasionally. You get home, think you got a medium roast, you got a hazelnut.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's not right.
Yeah,
Oh,
You got some 15-year-old high school kid refilling it.
oh.
Steph, we never said you were strange. It's just you're a couple of degrees off the center.
If you weren't strange, you wouldn't be listening to our podcast.
Yeah. Or be friends with us. That's the other thing.
You're
Much less do my editing.
Just
your deck has 2 extra jokers in it.
yes, just the simple fact that you are a return listener to our podcast means you're a half a bubble off a plum.
Yeah. And Raptor says Papa Raptor has a cast iron stomach, so yeah. Most of us that have drank coffee most of our lives pretty much do.
I have cut back to 2 or 3 cups a day.
Now I've cut back. I used to drink 25 to 30. And I cut back to a pot.
I used to.
I miss coffee.
There was a time when I would get a call at the sheriff's office. I'd be off duty and I'd get a call, and I'd know how bad it was by how big the cup of coffee sitting on my desk was when I got in there.
Coca-Cola Black. What the hell is
That's
that?
a coffee
Jason?
Coke mixture, and it's frankly disgusting.
Yeah, that's what he said was hideous.
That's frankly disgusting. And
You
plus, I'm too white to drink Coke Mothers.
Do you remember the coffee they stuck in the brown wrapper MREs?
Yes,
First
yeah.
gen MREs, yeah.
I used to eat that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't worth putting. It wasn't worth putting in water because
Takes
it
too
was.
long.
It was love and a coon coffee.
Yeah.
But man, you could eat it. You could eat it like chocolate powder.
Yeah, that's
Change your teeth really bad though when you
Yeah.
do that.
yeah. That was one of the things that they taught the Marines at sniper school, was to basically put it in like a chew of dip.
Oh, you ever had grinds?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, grinds are this brilliant technology. They took the pouch that the smokeless tobacco goes in.
Yeah.
And they filled it full of coffee grounds.
Yeah.
So you could put this little pouch between your cheek and gum, and it's fantastic.
You mean John tobacco? Smokeless tobacco makes it sound like they've developed some kind of cordite tobacco all of a sudden, that they're replacing it.
That could be interesting.
Aaron, you've met JimJim. Imagine him strung out on coffee, and you'll know why he doesn't drink coffee.
It's fun.
No, it's not that.
It's funny.
My resting heart rate after a cup of coffee is 130 plus.
Yeah.
So my one time a year when I go down to 8-3 coffee and have myself a cup or 2 of coffee.
Hummingbirds fly by and go, "Damn, dude, lay off the coffee."
Yeah. And he's bouncing for 3 days, no sleep.
I can see the flavor 9.
Yeah.
I just did it.
But I was there for a while. The Grinds has a cinnamon roll flavored. It's coffee. It tastes like cinnamon rolls, and you put that little pouch to your cheek and gum, and you start drinking your coffee, and oh my God, it's good.
Yeah.
You start seeing through time about your 3rd cup of coffee, but it's good.
Yeah. And Nancy says caffeine gives me a headache, so we're chicory carob or decaf combo here, usually a couple pots a day.
What's the point?
Yeah, decaf. I don't
is an abomination unto man.
Yes, it is.
And no good.
Everybody's like, well, if you can't drink coffee with your decaf. And I look at them like, I'm going to shank you.
I'm not drinking it for the taste. I'm drinking it for the caffeine.
Yeah.
It's like, drink decaf. The words that come in your mouth sound like English.
They're putting them together. They're not making any sense whatsoever.
And Jason says, if I don't have time to drink coffee, get the military energy gum from Amazon. Just don't do more than one piece in a 3-hour stretch.
Okay.
It's pretty much pure caffeine.
Yeah, I never bothered with the gum. I mean,
Yeah.
wherever I was in the military, um, after Dad died, I didn't drink coffee for a long time. And then my very first cup was my first in the field problem, field exercise. And I got up at 04:30 and I was standing in line and they just filled the silver bullet.
Yeah.
And you remember that first draw of coffee off the silver bullet?
Yeah.
I got, and this is, this was like 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4, since my last cup of coffee. And the cook handed me a cup and said, "Get that down your neck." I went, "Oh, what the hell?" And oh my God, that was good. And then they had to pry me off the nozzle of silver bullet. Private, get away from the coffee.
They used to.
Andy said their local Asian grocery carries Cafe du Monde.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Vietnamese love that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Vietnamese actually love it. But
I gotta imagine they're all down there shrimping.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They say shrimping, they hate you.
Yeah.
Well, they cut them rolling shrimping.
Yeah. When you consider that there are more quote unquote Chesapeake blue crabs caught by the Vietnamese
in the Gulf of Mexico
than there are in Chesapeake Bay, period.
I'm waiting for the tiger prawns to start hitting Galveston.
Yeah.
Because
56 minutes.
Okay. All right. Some of those sneaky little devils turn loose.
Okay, first off, not little. Tiger prawns are not little.
I'm talking about the Vietnamese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Snuck some tiger prawns on the reefs, and they're quote unquote devastating the local pink shrimp. I don't care. Well, have you seen the size of a tiger prawn?
Those tiger prawns have been out on that coral reef 62 miles out for years, because there was a bunch of Cajuns that were shrimping those things years ago.
Yeah, they're
but now the shrimp boats are bringing in these forearm-sized shrimp, and I personally welcome my new crustacean overlords.
They are good eating.
Yes, they are.
They've got a great flavor.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
But I think this has more to do with where they're feeding.
Probably.
Oh, speaking of which, a PSA: do not eat cicadas if you have a shrimp allergy.
Like this is an issue.
It is. They just had it on the news.
I've been through jungle warfare school. I'm still not eating a cicada.
Apparently, that's the new thing, because it's only every 17 years, so it's a hoi delicacy.
That's the same idiots that were snorting Tide Pods.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God. Wow. They only pop up every 17 years, therefore they are a delicacy.
Yeah.
It's a bug.
Yeah, it's a bug.
The rafter goes, what caliber for Mini Cthulhu?
350 or 212 degree water for 3 minutes.
Yeah. And Nancy goes, well, shrimp is bugs. Bugs is bugs.
Shrimp.
Anybody that's been through SEER school has eaten plenty of bugs.
The thing is, crustaceans, the sea bear, they split off from the insect line a long time ago.
Like, before dinosaurs.
Yes. Yeah. Like way back. So you can't sit there and go, shrimps is bugs. They're not bugs.
They're crustaceans.
Yes.
Yeah, Julian, mud bugs are good bugs too.
Oh, hell yes.
You know what?
That meme I posted, it's got this picture of a crawdad.
Yeah.
And some waxter holding a microphone in front of it.
Yeah.
And they added the line. And then I said, hold up, that ain't no hot tub.
Yeah.
We should import banana clams. Banana crabs.
Crabs.
Banana crabs.
You sure you're not thinking of coconut crabs?
Oh, no, yeah, no, you're right. Coconut crabs.
Coconut crabs eat people.
Yeah.
Coconut crabs they steal small children out of
yes, they can break a 2x4. I've seen one do it.
Yeah, they're probably what did for Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
Now they're smart enough to open cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some YouTube video got pulled down that showed one taking a pigeon apart, and the pigeon was protesting.
Yeah.
And the crab didn't care.
Well, if you think about it, they're called coconut crabs for a reason. They can crack a coconut with those claws.
Yeah. But coconut pigeon.
But you've seen the size of them.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Not sure how long you have to boil one though.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of crab meat there, but
Yeah.
how long do you have to boil it?
Yeah, how long?
It's not so much how long do you have to boil it, it's how long is the fight going to be to get it into the pot.
Yeah.
And how many times you have to lose
Yes.
before you finally get in the pot.
Yeah. I got him. I got him. I'm down to 2 fingers left, but I got that son bitch in the pot.
Trust me, you turn coconut crabs loose in Acadiana, and they'll find some way to cook little buggers.
Yeah.
And they'll taste good too.
There'll be Cajuns sitting there going through the recipe book going, God damn it.
Thibodeau, starteroo.
Yeah.
No, he'll get there. He'll go through it. He'll flip through it and he'll go, oh, Old Bay.
Yeah.
Put on the rice and starteroo.
Yeah.
And I'll be right back.
Boudreaux. Me, I'm going to tell you, we're going to have some good fun in the old town tonight. Julian goes, once you go Tide Pod, you never go back.
Yeah, if only.
If only snorting Tide Pods would cleanse the population like it cleanses
Yeah.
your whites.
Yeah. And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, we only spent 20 minutes on food.
No, it was 6 minutes.
We can do an entire
Yeah.
episode on coffee.
Yeah, well, we did. We just did.
No, it wasn't an entire episode.
Seriously, folks, do what you can to keep your sanity.
Or what's left of your sanity.
Yeah.
In our case.
Yeah, Yvonne, you're not the only one that resembles that comment. Most of us do. Seriously, folks, have a good weekend. Be safe. Remember, don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't sweat the petty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
And we'll see you later. Bye.
I think I'll start at the kitchen, the restaurant supply places.